Hi everyone, it's Tara Bianca with Be Light Transformative Therapy, and today I wanted to make a quick video to briefly explain and show the basic differences between a weighted tuning fork and an unweighted tuning fork. But before we jump in, I have some very exciting news for you. If you haven't heard already, I have finally completed the OTTO 128Hz tuning fork manual, and it is officially up on my website. I've included the link for you to grab that at the top of the video description. I think this manual came out really well. It's a nice, simplified introduction to the OTTO 128. And I think it's a really valuable resource because it consolidates all the information from this entire video series into one place. Inside, I talk about what the OTTO 128 is, how to use it, the main benefits, and then I think most importantly, I give you suggestions for use, and also I give you the point maps for absolutely every point that we've covered throughout this entire video series. So I hope it's going to be a really valuable resource for you. So far, the feedback has been pretty good, and know that once you all continue to give me feedback about the manual, I can make revisions, I can make additions. I'm more than happy to continue to make this manual better and better based on the needs of the community. So you just let me know what you need and we'll make it happen. Again, if you're interested in that manual, the link is at the top of the video description. Okay, so here I have a couple of unweighted tuning forks to show you. This one over here is a C256, and this one over here is a G384. And as you can see by looking at them, there's nothing really particularly notable about them. They have the stem or handle where I'm holding, and they have the two long prongs, which vibrate to make sound. Now I'm holding a pair of them because I find that with the unweighted tuning forks, you can't just strike them on any old surface and expect to get a nice sound or a consistently good sound. But they happen to work very well as a pair when you strike them together. So you can hear when I strike these two forks together, they have quite an audible sound, right? So in a quiet room, this sound is loud enough to really fill the entire space. I hope it's not too close to the mic. I'm going to strike it one more time for you. And so here's the C. And here's my G384. So the unweighted tuning forks have this very audible frequency, right? But what they don't have is any palpable vibration. So meaning when I strike these forks together, I hear the frequency really obviously, but what I don't get is when I hold it to my body, I don't feel anything, right? I don't feel the vibration of this frequency. I only hear the vibration of this frequency. These forks are really awesome to add into your therapeutic treatments if you're a licensed practitioner. If they actually resonate with your clients, these can be quite powerful for eliciting a strong relaxation response in the body. Otherwise, outside of a formal therapeutic treatment space, these unweighted tuning forks could be awesome for adding into a sound bath or a sound journey of some type. That might be something that you curate for others, or it could be something that you use just to explore on your own, some self-sound exploration. And now here I have a weighted tuning fork. This one here is an OTTO 128, a C128. And so the difference should pop out to you immediately, right? On the weighted tuning fork, we have this obvious addition of two weights which are attached to the ends of the prongs of the tuning fork. And also on my particular OTTO 128, I have the addition of what they call a gem foot. Everyone always asks me about this base, and I always leave a link for how to purchase a base like this in the video description of all my videos, but you can also feel free to explore around the internet if this is something that's interesting to you. I attach it because it makes it easier to hold, especially if you're a licensed practitioner working on clients. It's really frustrating to lose your grip on these things or potentially drop it during a treatment. And And a lot of people just prefer this broader surface that the gem foot adds to the bottom of the tuning fork. It makes a little bit of a nicer contact surface with the body, and some people say that it allows them to feel the vibration more profoundly on that broader surface. So now when I go to strike my weighted tuning fork, and this is just a rubber ball that I have that I'm going to use for striking purposes today so that I can strike on camera and you can see what I'm doing. So when I go to strike my weighted tuning fork, you can hear there's not a really obvious audible quality to it, right? The frequency is not very audible to the human ear. It's not a loud sound. I'm going to strike it again for you. And I'll also hold it to the mic a little bit so you can hear. So you can hear that obvious difference between the subtle quality of the weighted fork versus that very bright, clear, audible sound of the unweighted forks that I demonstrated in the beginning. So when I strike this, it doesn't have that audible quality, but what it does have is when I hold this to my body, particularly to a bony surface, I feel a lot of vibration. Right? There's a strong vibratory feeling that comes from the weighted tuning forks as opposed to an audible quality. So I'll do it one more time, and you might pick up on it on the mic. And so this is really the distinguishing feature between the two, right? This is the obvious difference, and it's really what distinguishes their purpose as well. The weighted tuning fork is really about being used on the body for that vibratory sensation, and the unweighted forks that we looked at in the beginning are really for that audible quality, that externally audible quality, that sound frequency. Weighted tuning forks are sometimes called osteophonic or OTTO tuning forks, OTTO, because they're so stimulating to the dense connective tissues of the body, particularly the bone. So osteo equals bone. If you're a licensed practitioner, these weighted tuning forks are awesome to add into your treatment plans with your private clients. You can use them for spot treatments for helping to reduce pain and inflammation, or you can really make a full session out of these. So in my own private practice in Manhattan, I used to incorporate the tuning forks into the other body work I was doing. So maybe my clients would come for a 60 or 90-minute session, and a good chunk of that would be devoted to maybe myofascial release or some other type of manual therapy. And I'd probably disperse about a half hour's worth of tuning fork treatments into that session. So there's a lot of room for you to play around with different treatment strategies depending on what your client, what resonates most with them. And then for those of you who practice a point-based or meridian-based modality, these are awesome for incorporating into that work as well, and very easy to transpose into that work. You would just use this the same way you would your fingers or your needles. If you're not a licensed practitioner, these weighted tuning forks are an amazing self-care tool for helping to reduce pain and inflammation, and also for helping to encourage deep relaxation. If you need help exploring this idea on your own, then you should know that I just finished our tuning fork video series completely devoted to the OTTO 128 just this past Tuesday. If you haven't seen any of that video series yet, you can check it out by clicking this link up here or by clicking the link in the video description. Throughout that video series, we go through the entire body, section by section, exploring all the ways that we can utilize the OTTO 128 on the body. I hope this video was helpful for showing the most basic differences between the unweighted and the weighted tuning forks. If you have any questions or feedback, please do not hesitate to leave those in the comments below this video. And also just one final reminder that if you're interested in the OTTO 128Hz tuning fork manual that I just completed this week, please make sure you grab it at the link that I've included right at the top of the video description. That manual includes everything you need to know about the OTTO 128, including all the point maps for all the points we covered throughout the entire video series. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Also, please check out my totally free breath training called the Breath Basics 6-Day Challenge. my next 4-week breath bootcamp, which is coming up very soon. And remember that I'm offering my YouTube viewers 20% off the entire program when you use code BOOTCAMP20 at checkout. So make sure you take advantage of that. And then also check out my private online Be Light community. And if you'd like to donate to my channel and directly contribute to the growth of Be Light, you may do so by visiting my Buy Me a Coffee page. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.